All right, everybody. Welcome to Module 4 of the Real Estate Flipping course. I think this is Module 4. Maybe we'll be swapping them around. Who knows? But I'm happy you made it this far. And now that you understand the key industry terms and the core investing strategies from the last module, it's time to zoom in on one of the most exciting and profitable strategies in the entire business, the fix and flip model. This is the strategy most people think of when they hear the words real estate investor, buying a distressed property, fixing it up, and selling it for a profit. In this module, I'll walk you through how flipping actually generates profit, the full fix and flip process from start to finish, the key roles involved from investors to contractors, and how to set realistic expectations for your first few flips. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, big picture understanding of how the flipping business works and what it really takes to succeed. Let's start with the most important question. How does flipping actually make money? It all comes down to buying smart. I've said this in other modules. Buy smart, improve the value, and then sell strategically. Here's the formula in very simple terms. We take the after repair value, subtract the purchase price, plus repairs, plus holding costs, plus selling costs, and that equals your profit. Let's break that down now. After repair value, this is what the property will be worth after your renovations based on the comps that you have found in the area. The purchase price is the discounted price you pay for the property. The repair costs, all the expenses involved in fixing it up, materials, labor, permits, project management sometimes. And then, of course, the holding costs, things like the loan interest, utilities, insurance, property taxes while you own it. Most of the times, these are interest-only loans depending on the type of product that you're using to buy this property. Those are all wrapped together as holding costs. And then another thing to account for is the selling costs on the opposite side when you're all finished. A lot of people forget about these and don't take into account agent commissions, another thing of closing costs, and then, of course, any final touch-ups to get it sold, because usually the end buyer has a inspector that comes in and creates an entire list of things that you have to go in and fix up again. So just some things to keep in mind. The good thing is, if you control these numbers, especially the purchase and rehab, you get to control your profit. The golden rule, you make your money when you buy, not when you sell. That's why experienced flippers spend more time analyzing deals than swinging hammers. If you buy right, you can mess up a few things and still come out ahead. But if you overpay, then the best renovation won't even save you. Now, let's go step by step through the entire fix and flip process. Think of it like a timeline with 6 key stages. The first one, finding the deal. Every successful flip starts with a great deal. You'll typically find these from motivated sellers, wholesalers, doing direct mail, some sort of online lead platform like pay-per-click if you use like Google Ads, or PPL, which is pay-per-lead, which is a different website that generates leads for you and then you just buy them directly from them. And then there's also agents who specialize in finding off-market investment properties as well, but those you have to pay their commission as well or some sort of fee. The goal is to buy below market value, usually around 70% of ARV minus the repairs and minus any other costs that you want to take into account. This margin gives you enough room to cover costs and still make a profit. Number 2 in the 6 key stages is analyzing the deal. Before you ever sign a contract, you need to run your numbers. Estimate the ARV using comparable sales, calculate your repair costs, and apply the 70% rule to find your maximum allowable offer, your MAO. If the numbers make sense and you have multiple exit strategies in your worst case scenario, it could be worth pursuing and diving deeper. Number 3 out of the 6 is financing the deal. Once you find a property that works, you'll need to fund the purchase and the renovation. Your options include cash if you have it, hard money loans, which is just a short-term asset-based lending product, finding a private lender, which is usually like an individual investor funding your deal, or some sort of partnership or joint venture, which you'll be splitting the deal with someone who provides the capital. We do a lot of these, like I've said in the last module. Make sure to factor loan interest and points into your total cost. These can eat into your profit if you're not careful. Number 4 out of the 6 is the rehab phase. This is where the real transformation happens and where a lot of investors make or lose money. It starts with a scope of work, which outlines exactly what needs to be done and the cost for each item. You'll want to focus on improvements that add value. Kitchens, bathrooms, flooring, paint, lighting, and curb appeal goes a very long way. Avoid over-improving. Don't add granite countertops in a neighborhood full of laminate. Renovate based on market expectations, not personal preference. Especially if the comparable properties that are nearby, if all of them are selling at, say, 300,000 and they don't have granite countertops and they don't look like you've had to do a whole lot of work to get them there, don't overdo it because you're probably still just going to get that 300,000 number anyways. And during the rehab, you'll manage the contractors, check the progress, approve payments for your holding costs and to the contractors, and make sure the project stays on schedule and budget. Time is money in flipping. Every extra week means more holding costs. Every extra month means an entire new payment has to go out to one of your lenders. Number 5 out of the 6, selling the property. Once the renovation is complete, it's time to sell. You can choose to stage the home, which we are hit or miss with. Sometimes we do it in-house, where we just go in and take a few things and try and stage it the best that we can. But there are professional stagers that will come in and bring full-blown furniture in each room for you. Next up is get professional photos and work with a local real estate agent who knows the market. Luckily for us in-house, I am a licensed real estate agent. If you are listening to this and you're in Maryland, we have agents as well that can definitely help you, including myself. And it is always awesome to work with an investor-friendly agent. But getting back on topic, we always get professional photos. They go such a long way. Don't have an agent who comes in and just uses their cell phone for your photos. We don't recommend that at all. And usually those are the agents that aren't going to take you very seriously. And if they're not taking you seriously, they're not going to take selling your home seriously. So anyways, find a good agent to sell the property, because getting on the MLS is a lot better than just trying to sell it yourself. Pricing correctly is key when you're trying to sell a property. Don't get greedy. If your ARV was accurate, price right at it or slightly below that number to attract buyers quickly. The faster you sell, the higher your annualized return is. What we do, depending on the market, is we price sometimes 10% to 15% below the ARV, so we get multiple bids in, so they're off the market very quickly. And the final stage here of the 6 key stages is reviewing the results. After the sale is completely done, review your numbers. How close were your estimates to actual costs? Did the timeline match your plan? How much profit did you make versus your goal? Every deal, even the ones that don't go perfectly, teaches you something that makes the next one even better. This entire cycle, repeated over time, is how you build a real flipping business. Now that you know the entire process with the 6 key stages that we just discussed, let's look at the key players involved in every single flip. Each one plays a vital role in making the project successful. Number 1, the investor. That's you. You're the quarterback of the deal. You find the property, you analyze the numbers, you secure the financing, you oversee the rehab, and make all the key decisions. Your job is to keep the project profitable and keep everyone on track. Number 2, the lender. Lenders provide the capital to fund your deal, either hard money, private, or some sort of institutional fund. They'll want to see your deal analysis, the property's ARV, and your plan for repayment. Treat your lenders like business partners. Communicate clearly, be transparent, and always deliver what you promise. Number 3, the contractor. Your contractor is your boots on the ground. They execute the rehab, manage the labor, and ensure the property is brought to market-ready condition. The key here is clear communication and a written scope of work. Never pay 100% upfront. Pay in draws as work is completed and inspected. Good contractors are worth gold in this business. Build relationships with reliable ones. And lastly, the real estate agent. An experienced agent is your partner on both the acquisition and the resale side. They help you find the deal, pull comps, price the property correctly, and market it to buyers once it's ready. Choose agents who understand investor deals, not just traditional retail sales. Feel free to ask them, have you worked with an investor before? Do you typically work with investors, or are you usually working with first-time home buyers on the buying side? There's a big difference between the two. All right, now let's wrap up by talking about something that doesn't get discussed enough: setting realistic expectations. Here's the truth: flipping is not like what you see on TV. Those shows edit out the delays, the budget overruns, and the stress that comes with managing multiple moving parts. Here is what you should expect: your first few flips will take longer than planned. You'll make mistakes, and that's okay. Profit margins can range anywhere from 20 to 60K per deal depending on your market and experience. You'll face surprises: bad plumbing, foundation issues, contractor delays, but each one teaches you something new. The key is to just start small, follow your numbers, and focus on the learning process. Flipping is a skill, and like any business, it takes time to master. But once you do, it's one of the most powerful ways to generate active income and build long-term wealth through real estate. So to do a quick recap, in this module, we covered how flipping actually generates profit, the full process from finding deals to selling, the key players involved, and how to set realistic expectations for success. In the next module, we'll go deeper into how to find and source profitable deals, including marketing strategies, lead generation, and how to identify motivated sellers. See you in the next one.